Hey guys, Nick here. So today I wanted to start a series of videos titled How I Wrote It. This is basically just going to be a 7 episode series about every song on my debut album with regards from far away, track by track, just going through and talking about how I wrote the songs, why I wrote the songs, what they mean, yada yada yada. But first I want to give some background into the album itself. So, this past May, I graduated from Millikan University in Decatur, Illinois, with a degree in commercial music. And since I was an honor student, I had to do this project. Like this big end of the year project, end of the 4-year project. And so, since it was like a DIY, create your own project essentially, that had to be approved by various faculty members, I decided to write an album. And I wrote a concept album just to give it, an academic edge. But also because I wanted the challenge and I wanted to test my songwriting abilities and grow as a songwriter. So basically, for those who don't know, what a concept album is essentially a group of songs that are paired together through a common thread, like a theme or characters in a story. Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd is more of an abstract concept album, considered by many to be a concept album, and whereas albums like American Idiot by Green Day have characters and a loose storyline. And if you were to gather anything from this, it would be that everyone's definition of a concept album is a little different, so it makes it kind of hard to define. But in my own definition, my concept album follows the loose story of a couple in their relationship from beginning to end. It lasts about a year, and over the course of the songs, there are several different stages that I laid out, and each song is supposed to represent a different stage of the relationship while also encompassing a specific emotion. So the first song, what we're going to talk about today, is called Valentine's Day, and it has its own intro. Some concept albums have intros and outros to their songs. So I wrote an intro to Valentine's Day, and it's an all-string arrangement. And when I went into the studio at school to record this, I had initially contacted 5 string players, and 3 of them couldn't make it. So I had 2 string players for a 5-piece arrangement. I had a cello player and a viola player. The viola being played by Andrew Gum, DJ Gummy, and the cello being played by Becca Hussar. And both of them killed it. And I asked them, hey, can you play these other parts? And they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. And they took it like champs. And it sounds great. So the string intro is supposed to set up the story, I guess. So it takes the main theme in the melody from Valentine's Day, and I put it in the cello part, and the viola part plays harmony on top of that. And what that's supposed to mean is it's just supposed to set the mood for the album, and especially it's supposed to set up Valentine's Day as being sort of like the heart of the whole album. And so, yeah, like I said, Becca and Andrew killed it, and I'm so grateful to have had them play on the album because it sounds great. Let's get into Valentine's Day, the actual song, the whole thing. So Valentine's Day is spoken from the whole album is spoken from the perspective of the single person, the character that we follow as we listen song by song. And so this character wants desperately to be in a relationship with this other person that they see and they encounter. And so a lot of the song has to do with wanting to be with this person and wanting to start a relationship and wanting an ever after love. In the chorus, there's a line about wanting ever after love. And that I think about Shrek, Shrek 2 specifically, thinking about the song Accidentally in Love, from the intro. Because everyone wants a happy ever after love, right? So this character sees this person and thinks, I want an ever after love. But the chorus is written in a minor key. So it starts on E minor and it goes up. So the first two choruses are in a minor key to imply that this hasn't happened yet, and everyone has doubts when they want a relationship and when they think about getting into a relationship. And that's just supposed to be musically represented by the minor chords, the minor key in that chorus. Overall, I think I wrote the song to sound kind of happy, and not kind of happy. I wrote it to sound happy and upbeat and almost naive. Initially, I had the idea to write each song so that they would progress through the story of the album, but musically they would sound like they were progressing through time, I guess. So like the first song would sound like a classic 4-chord Beatles song or whatever with a bunch of harmonies, and then later down the line it would get more emotional and more complex. So like think like 90s Radiohead or whatever, all the way up until songs from in the past like decade. But I scrapped that idea pretty quickly because there was just a bunch of other ideas that I wanted to throw in, and that seemed the least attainable at the time. But I still tried to make Valentine's Day sound like it was being written by someone who had a huge crush on this other person. And so that's why it's placed in the beginning of the album, to establish the story and where this character is at emotionally and relationship-wise. So yeah, that's Valentine's Day. Give it a listen. I'll put the link in the SoundCloud below. My album is also now officially available on iTunes and Spotify. So if you have Spotify, search Nick Scarpinato, you'll find the whole album there. And if you want to just buy one song, head to iTunes. They make their own prices, so it's more expensive than on CD Baby. I'll put the CD Baby link down there also. So if you want to buy the whole thing for $5, you can. Otherwise, that's Valentine's Day. And with regards, the string intro. Be on the lookout next week. We're going to talk about the second song on the album, the third track, technically. Wonderful, and its outro, One of These Days. In the meantime, listen to the album. Stay subscribed, like this video, share this video, whatever you want to do. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in a couple of days for the next cover video. So, see ya.